Hello everyone, welcome to Alithya's Whisper. I hope you're all doing well. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Now before we get started, I do have a new idea for some other types of videos. I'm thinking of reading Reddit stories of all kinds. So if you think that's something you'd like, or if you have specific types of Reddit stories you want to hear, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Anyways, let's go ahead and get back to the video. Evolutionized, Chapter 17, Fight or Flight. Alana just left, hoping to supply a distraction so we can find the other evolved, waiting to be sold. Atlas and I were just about to start our search, but I guess Timothy didn't trust us by ourselves. More hidden security guards came into the room. Atlas gives me a sly wink. I shake my head no in a nervous manner, but it's too late. She starts taking on the guards one by one, blocking and attacking left and right. I move myself to a nearby corner just to wait for the chaos to end. After a good amount of time has passed, Atlas has taken down every guard. I really hope no one just heard your antics. We're supposed to be sneaky, I say, rolling my eyes. Atlas just shrugs, not hiding her delight. Hey, I took care of them. Now we can take their clothes and blend in more easily. Sure, assuming no one will find the unconscious henchman down here, I say. Just shut up and get dressed. The sooner we can find the other evolved, the sooner we can get out of here. Then we can focus on taking down Timothy. Fine, then you're on your own. I don't like all of this fighting, I say as I start changing into security attire. Soon we left the room following the schematics Alana gave us before we got here. According to Alana, she thinks the evolved will be kept here, below where the auction will take place. There's bound to be some type of lock on the door. Any bright ideas, Secret Agent Atlas? I say sarcastically. Hey, you're talking to a future sentinel. And yes, Leo gave me a device used to decrypt codes for doors. I'm not sure how it works, but he showed me how to use it. You never know how anything works, Atlas. I'm amazed you navigated life not knowing how things work. She gave me a slight glare before finally coming to the supposed room. She pulls out the so-called device. I stand behind her, keeping watch. Can you hurry up? I hate being a sitting duck. I want this stupid mission to be done with. It's not stupid. We're saving Evolved, like us. Don't you feel good about this at all? I shake my head. I feel better being back with Simon, and far away from all this. Before she can reply, a slight beat comes from the device, followed by the door unlocking. Atlas looks at me, seeming pleased with herself. She bursts through the door without thinking. Atlas, wait! I shouted. I followed behind her, but she stopped. In front of us stood Timothy, with Alana being held by a guard. Multiple guards surround us. Good job, you two. Really well done. You almost had me. Almost. Before either one of us can do anything, Timothy motions his hand using his ability. He manipulates the gravity around us, causing us to slam to the ground, a force so heavy we can't move. Timothy turns to Alana. It's such a shame. We could have done wonderful things together. We could have learned so much more about who we are and how we develop these abilities. But alas, you're still the same as always, a pawn to Leonard's plans, never realizing your true potential. He goes to caress her face, but stops himself. Still under the weight of the gravity, Atlas manages to push a button of another device I didn't know she had. Before Timothy can realize what she's done, Leo bursts through the door with Shade in tow. Thank goodness he's alright, although he looks like hell. Leo uses his flames to distract Timothy and the guards full force. Shade comes to us, puts his hands on us, and in a puff of black smoke, we seem to vanish. After a series of never-ending blurs, we end up back at the van. Stay here, he says seriously. Before we can do anything, he smokes out, gone in an instant. So that's his ability. That's so cool, Atlas says excitedly. I shake my head and sigh. In that moment, Shade arrives back along with Alana and Leo. Everyone in the van, he says. We all do as he says, and he pushes on the gas, screeching off. Chapter 18. Now what? We made it safely back to the Sentinel compound, but I'm so pissed off. We thought we had him, but he just played us. I storm off to my room, not saying a word to anyone. After a while, Alistair knocks on my door. I know you're upset, but the mission wasn't a total loss, he says. We all made it back alive. Now we make a new plan. What do you mean we? There is no we, remember? You said after this you were done. You held up your end of the bargain, so now you get to move on and leave me alone. I'll figure this out myself. Atlas, don't be like that. Yes, I know what I said, but after meeting Timothy, I want to help you succeed. I want to help you take him down, he says sincerely. I look up at him and see him smiling. I haven't seen you have a passion for anything, except maybe men. I roll my eyes, but he continues. I can see that you're doing a lot of good for others like us, so I'll stand by you until Timothy's captured. I smile and stand. Let's take this guy down. We make our way to Alana's lab. She wants to check us out before moving on to planning. Shade, you took a hell of a beating. Feeling any pain or dizziness, she asks. I feel like a fool. He knew what we were planning. It took me so long to make that plan. Now we have to start from square one. Perhaps, but that doesn't answer my question. Her eyes turn blue and she looks Shade over from head to toe, seeing every part of his body down to his cells. A few broken ribs and a concussion. You're lucky Atlas held back some. I don't doubt you'd be worse off if she hadn't. Leo makes his way into the lab. Okay, everyone. That plan sucked. No offense, Shade. But we're all alive with few injuries, so I still see this as a win. The next step will be crucial if we want to succeed further. So let's start with what we know. He's not a dumbass, that's for sure. He knew we were planning something, I say. He doesn't trust me as much as we believed, so using me won't work in the future, Alana says. I think our problem was trying to rescue the other evolved, Alistair speaks up. We all turned and looked at him. Hear me out. We should have focused our efforts on taking him down completely, then went to rescuing the evolved afterwards. Cut the head off the snake, so to speak. Leo nods. I agree. I hate putting more evolved in harm's way, but after what we witnessed today, we might not have a choice. You would say that, considering this is personal for you, Leo, Alex chimes in. Are you sure you're objective enough to make that decision? How do we know this isn't you trying to get revenge? I hate agreeing with Alex, but she has a point. Is this truly the best path forward? Alana asks. I can tell this discussion has everyone on edge, so I decided to give my thoughts. Everyone else in this room besides me and Alistair has some sort of history with this guy, so we might have a better perspective. Leo nods, urging me to continue. It might seem like that's all Leo wants, but I believe in some way it's what you all want, and there's nothing wrong with that to an extent. However, judging from what Alistair and I saw, he's not the type of person to stop until he gets what he wants. Only way he'll stop is if he's stopped by someone else. Alistair stands beside me and picks up where I left off. I'm not the type to endorse violence. If anything, I abhor it. But Atlas is right. He isn't afraid to kill anyone who is of no use to him or gets in his way. Everyone is a pawn to him. The only way to prevent more lives lost is to meet violence with violence. Everyone is silent for a moment. I never expected Alistair to agree with me, but it feels nice to have him have my back. Finally, Alana speaks up. Well then, I say it's time to take Timothy down once and for all. Everyone looks at one another and nods in agreement. I smile at everyone and say, okay, so what's the next step? And those are the next few chapters of Evolutionized. We're getting close to our finale, so if you haven't seen the other videos so far, go ahead and go check them out. This is Alithia, signing off.